Hey everybody, welcome back to Wenatchee River Institute's Plant ID series. Today we're joined by one of our board members, Gro Buer, and we're heading out for a hunt for the elusive forest orchid. Enjoy!
Hello, this is Gro. I'm hiking on Tumwater Mountain and I found a plant that I'm very excited to tell you about. I'm on the board of the Wenatchee River Institute and I love to go hiking looking for plants. And today I've never been on this part of Tumwater and I had no idea that these plants were here. So join me in going into this deep, dark forest to look for a phantom. These plants love it where it's dark, dank, and has deciduous plants and trees around. And that's because they can't make their own food like most plants. They aren't even green. So we are looking for something phantom-like, which in this case, there's one. It turns out to be white. Here we have the phantom, which some people call the ghost orchid. So let's get closer and see the flowers. Look at that. It's all white. The phantom is definitely ghost-like. This phantom is only found in Oregon, Washington, and parts of Canada. So if you see them, you are very, very lucky. These elusive phantoms sometimes disappear for a decade, almost 2 decades at times, maybe to get more energy to start their flowering again. So the record so far has been 17 years that you will lose the sight of a phantom, and then all of a sudden, there they are. And here we have 6 or 7 or 8, which is very unusual. I have never seen so many in one spot. So it's a very exciting thing for me to see. There's green leaves around it, but it itself has no leaves that are green and nothing else that can produce food for itself. So how does this plant eat or get energy? It has an association with fungus. The fungus is underground and helps the orchid absorb nutrients so that it can reproduce and make more orchids. Let's move on to some other ones. So then there's the question of who is interested in the orchid and who can pollinate it. If I try to get a little closer, perhaps you can see that there's a tiny bit of yellow, which is probably the pollen on the stamens. And in my research, I found that little flies, the sweat fly, will go in there and rub its belly as it's trying to get the nectar inside. And as it goes out, the pollen sticks on its belly. And then, of course, it goes to another flower. And then it will pollinate the second flower. So if you ever get a chance, try to go into the deep, dark forest to find the phantom. Sometimes you have to get on your hands and knees to zero in on the flower and the stalk, but if you try, you will find the phantom. I want to thank you for coming with me and joining this adventure, and I hope you too get to go out sometime and find yourself an orchid. Over and out.
Thanks, Gro, for that spooky look at the phantom orchid. Head out and try and see if you can find that beautiful white plant for yourself and enjoy the sunshine.